our first prototype of Voodoo Monkey, and we made it in a very simple way with a phone inside the monkey. When the killer called, so when the people lifted it up, the killer stopped the call and the monkey stopped to laugh. The killer had two phones, and we programmed the phone inside the monkey with different ringtones. So the laugh was for the call, and then we used two different tones for WhatsApp messages. So the killer can answer to yes or no questions with these two different tones. At a certain point in the game, the participants have to find a box with clues inside. And we use the same functionality to play the hot and cold game. One participant took the monkey in their hand and they took 3 steps in the room. And the monkey answered yes if they were moving closer to the box, or no if they moving farther away.
What we did was we created a game that was half riddle solving and the other half was creating a story. So we had the killer on Skype. This is a representation of the killer you can see on the screen, and the killer on Skype started giving clues about the crime.
All the game started with Watson reading a letter from the killer and with instruction of all the game. And then the monkey started to laugh and they lifted up and the monkey stopped to laugh. And the killer texts Watson with WhatsApp and says, "Make friends with my monkey." So participants start to look at the monkey and they see the pin with a little letter. So they take the pin, take the letter, and is a little riddle that lead them to 2 cards that were inside the jacket. With the cards we have another little riddle, and they have to understand which of the 2 cards they had to use first. The card had 2 QR codes, so they had to use the ace, and Watson took a scan of the QR code. With the hot and cold game, they found the box, and inside the box there were some objects with clues and the tape. They had to find another little clues that was the puzzle, and the piece of the puzzle were inside the hat of the monkey. There were a word that in this case was lab and was the ambience of the crime scene.
So at this point, the creative part of the game started, and people started inspecting the various clues, which were different for each team. And there were little notes attached to the clues to spark their imagination. The Sherlocks had 8 questions, which they had to use wisely. And these questions were, of course, questions the killer had to answer via the monkey. So via these questions, they had to understand where the body was, and they had to tape it out. The killer answered the yes or no questions of the Sherlocks, and but there wasn't actually a script to that, but he decided, so we can say he co-created the story with the Sherlocks, answering yes or no as he pleased.
At the end of the game, we asked the participants to give us some feedback, and what came up was that the monkey had success with all the participants. Everybody loved the monkey and the interaction with it. But also they liked to have this direct interaction with the killer, because we used the Skype and we took the computer in the room, and we put this background of the screen with this big face, ugly face, and people knew that the killer was watching them via the computer, so they start to talk with him, and they like that, as opposed to have only Watson as intermediary between them and the killer. And they liked also to have some real object as clues, because the feeling of objects in their hands, they said they like that. Some participants pointed out that it was a bit of lag, and so we will see if we can be able to reduce it. And another suggestion was to maybe have a more immersive setting and atmosphere. That can be an idea for the next